Hey everyone, Kunal Johar here, CTO of OpenWater, and I'm excited to present to you all of the ways that you as a developer can tweak, customize, and really configure OpenWater. The OpenWater is made for non-tech savvy people. I mean, the first 10 years of the platform, there was no developer API, and yet we still ran around 12,000 workflows. And over time, we started adding APIs so that people that were tech savvy can do a bit more. We added some more APIs so that people that use some HTML and JavaScript can do a lot more. And then we released a full-fledged REST API with tons of sample code that allows people to use OpenWater as a tool to get most of the meat and bones of a system put together, and then allows for complete customization of nearly every part. With this, we are able to create workflows that would normally cost $50,000 plus worth of custom coding, down to just mere hours of work. So let's talk through what our course will cover. It's quite extensive, and we'll just go through sample by sample. So first, you can generate custom PDFs with just HTML knowledge. Let's take a look at that. So throughout the course, we'll have sample GitHub gists. In this case, we have just a little bit of HTML that you can copy and paste and then learn to modify on your own. Here you can see we're pulling some placeholders in from OpenWater. And let's take a look, if we wanted to generate PDFs from the platform, how that might look with that simple snippet of code. Here we go. Here's just an example of us putting together a sample certificate and generating that right through OpenWater. Next up, what if you wanted to pre-fill forms? Perhaps you're sending a mass email and you wanted the email to track how people were submitting. Our module will teach you how to take the director program link and load up the developer aliases, so through a simple query string, you can pass pre-fill information such as category, title, or any other field that was collected in the form. So here, we're going to take a look at a sample submission, and we'll see that the title and the category was pre-filled. Next, we'll give you a hands-on demo of what you can do with JavaScript knowledge and form manipulation. Here's another example piece of code that we provide in this training. It's a simple JavaScript snippet that adds title casing. And here you can see we bind to the title field. And when the title field is changed, we want to apply some title casing. So let's take a look at that in action. There we go. It's title case to field. And the simple snippet gets you all the way there. And the training will walk you through how to do that. If you have Python knowledge, you can use the system to build custom reports that become canned reports for all the other stakeholders at your organization. As expected, the training will give you some easy to follow sample code. So here you can see a Python report where we have 2 columns and we want to make sure that we uppercase the application title provided. Let's take a look at that report. We'll see it exports to Excel. And we have an example of a custom Excel report created with Python that title uppercases all the application titles as we told it to in code. This module gets pretty advanced. We can generate custom JSON reports, custom PDF and HTML reports, custom TXT reports. So it's quite a comprehensive guide. And finally, for backend developers, we give you all of the tricks of the trade and sample code so that you could build your own custom single sign-on, autocomplete, and access to the REST API. You see we've created sample code you can use to clone into your own local repository and load into Visual Studio. We have full examples on how to build your own single sign-on, your own lookups, and how to manipulate and access the REST API. So let's take a look at all of that in action. Here I've fired up the sample code in Visual Studio. I've loaded up OpenWater. You can see I could log in with SSO. We provided a sample login page with a system to simulate your AMS. Here I could log in. You can see single sign-on in action. I've loaded up the sample form, and within the sample form, we've created an example so that you can see a lookup field in live action here. So here I've lookup with prefill, and then in conclusion, we've given some sample code so that you can see our REST API without too much heavy lifting. So here's our lookup. And then here are some of our REST examples. So you can take a look at us pulling all the data from the last 24 hours. We'll also show you how to read and write information. Our REST API is really robust in terms of we have a Swagger specification, so that here you can see all of the methods that we support with documentation. And we also have a NuGet package if you're a C# developer with tons and tons of sample code. All of this is put together in a basic training course, sample code, step-by-step instructions. You could try this out in your own OpenWater sandbox. Thanks so much. Take care.